All right, let's talk about that crazy bobble because the slow-mo was nuts on your second touchdown. Were you worried it wasn't going to be ruled a catch, and how did you recover so well?
No, I wasn't worried that it would be ruled incompletion at all because I knew once I like kind of bobbled it, fumbled it, whatever, it was well after the fact that I'd already caught it, tucked it, rolled, and did some more after that. So I just wanted to ensure if they were to try to use it against me, that's why I kind of caught the ball towards the end, just to make sure, just to give them more peace of mind and confirming that it was a touchdown. It was a great throw, great throw.
So you talked about, you guys just playing in week 18 and carrying that momentum. So after playing in today's game, what momentum are you guys carrying into the playoffs?
Yeah, obviously we wish we would have came away with the W. Team fought very hard towards the end. Yeah, I give credit to the Lions for be able to finish it out and everything. But I think the biggest thing was just for us to go out there and just to be able to play in rhythm. I think we did a great job the first half coming out there with the starters and be able to kind of put some points up on the board. Just get into that rhythm, get into, the play calling. It's going to be another 2 weeks before we play a game again. So if we didn't play today, it would have been 3 weeks. And I don't think anyone really wants to do that. So, like I said, we wish we would have came away with the W, but, we were able to still be able to get some good film out there and do some stuff we can teach off of.
All right, next up, Wes Hodkiewicz, Packers.com. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, Allen, just for you individually, 5 catches, 75 yards, obviously the 2 touchdowns as we talked about. Just how do you feel about where you're at right now going into the playoffs and kind of this run you've been on for the past month?
I feel good. I feel like I'm in a really good mental space, physically as well. And just, having a good intuition, when it comes to playing the game. Just feeling it out, knowing what Aaron's thinking. I think I got to give a lot of credit to these coaches, Coach Vrabel and Hackett, as well as other guys as well. But those 2 guys specifically have done a great job throughout this entire year, but I really just honed in on their teachings, on what they've done to prepare us for these games and everything. So I've just really been honing in on my notes, the film, the details in the routes, and, just been working on that chemistry and connection with Aaron. And it's obviously been working out very well lately.
Next up, we're going to go to Steve from the Associated Press. Steve, go ahead.
You talked about wanting to have the offense in rhythm going into the playoffs. In that regard, how nice was it offensively for y'all to have David and Josh back for at least a little bit before, rather than them making their returns in the postseason?
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. I went up to both of them. I was just gave them a hug and said, it's happy to see you out here again. Not just, from the standpoint of just them being fantastic players. I think, our O-line has done a great job with those guys being out periodically throughout this year and everything. But just having those guys out there, the leadership that they bring, especially David, just the energy that they bring to the huddle and everything. Just, when you see those guys and you look around and, I think that's what's so great about here with the Packers is that, you get in the huddle and you see 10 other guys that you can fully trust that they're going to do the job, which just makes you doing your job a lot more simple. You're not thinking about, well, what happens if he loses his one-on-one and I gotta speed up my route or something to get more open so we can convert this third down. But when you're not worried about the outside noise and you just focus on yourself, it leads to more successful plays. It leads to longer drives. It leads to points. And I think that's something that we do very well here in Green Bay.
All right, next up, we're going Kyle Malzahn, WFRV TV. Go ahead, Kyle.
Hey, Allen, Aaron has said you guys have called on him a lot this season after the game. Did he deliver a post-game speech, or what was the message after the game heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, his message was pretty simple and plain. It's just we know what's at stake. We know, these past 2 years we've come up 1 game short of, our ultimate goal. So the big message is, what are you willing to do to put yourself in a better position to help this team out? Are you sacrificing your time? Are you, putting the right efforts into your film and the practice, into your recovery, and making sure you're staying on your sleep? Are you more focused on what's going on social media and stuff like that? So, it's very simple, very plain, nothing out of the ordinary for the message that he delivered. But I think it was just, kind of putting the cap on it of just, of everybody be on the same page going forward for this playoffs.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Hunter Baumgart of WJJQ. Go ahead, Hunter.
Hey, Allen, you got me?
Yep.
So you just mentioned your connection with Aaron a couple minutes ago. How much has that connection between you and Aaron grown throughout this season?
Tremendously. I think, obviously going back to like the month of November, just how funky it was, him being gone a game, I was gone a game. I got hurt for a week and stuff. So I think we just done a great job and of just, constantly grinding at it, constantly trying to improve, and me just focusing on my routes, focusing on my techniques, and just more so just trusting my training and just letting him do his job. I think that's just been the biggest thing that's helping be successful these past month or so, of just, not trying to do too much and just focus on my game.
All right, next we're going to Rachel Hotmeyer again. Go ahead, Rachel.
Alan, what did you see out of Jordan in the second half, and how valuable do you think it is that he gets this much time in a game?
Huge. I told him right before he made the second to last drive, I was just like, go own the huddle, go instill some confidence and some positive energy into those guys, and make it be well known that you guys are going to finish the drive off with a touchdown. And to see the way that he's able to play, to see him be able to kind of control the game in these the last quarter or so. Obviously, didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but mistakes happens all the time, and just because it happened at the end, it's going to be pointed out a little bit more. But I thought he did a great job, and he's subtly been growing this entire year. Obviously, he doesn't get the snaps with Aaron being up and everything, but he's grown tremendously throughout practice, week in and week out. So I'm very proud of him.
All right, next we're going back to Wes, Packers.com. Go ahead, Wes.
Alan, I don't know if you got a good look at Josiah's that tight end screen he took for 62, but what was sort of your reaction to it if you did? And just overall, though, what have you kind of seen from him here coming on here, especially without having Robert?
Yeah, I was screaming. I had a pretty good view of it. Lucas Patrick, I give a shout out to him. He threw an amazing block, knocked out two guys. Josiah was able to sneak inside of him, break off one tackle, and for him to be able to, that might have been, our longest touchdown of the season. Wes, I'm sure you would know better than me, but for him to be able to make that play, regardless of what week it is, what team we're playing against, like, it's still the NFL, and there's still very much a super talented guys out there. So that was a huge play for him, and I think it was a huge confidence booster in him. He's obviously, I think last week he missed a pass that he probably wish he would have got back, and here and there. I think it's just part of the subtle improvements that it takes to keep on growing. And, he's done a great job throughout this entire year, but just growing every single day, every single game. And you can see it. You can see it the way that he prepares, the way that he plays, and he plays his heart out all the time. And, I think that's what we as teammates, respect the most out of him. Just how hard he goes out there, how much he cares, how much he loves us.
All right, Alan, we're going to finish it up with Lily from Fox 6 in Milwaukee. Go ahead, Lily.
Hey, Alan, when you see Davante break Jordy Nelson's single season team record today, and you're looking at all the milestones that he's passing, do you look at Tay's marks and think, I'm going to try to beat you one day. I'm going to try to get these marks myself one day?
Absolutely. I mean, it's no secret that he's the person I'm chasing. And in a sense, I feel like if you're in the NFL and you play wide receiver, if you aren't chasing Davante Adams, then you're doing something wrong, because of the production he's had over the years, especially this year, and going back to last year as well. Just the distance he's been able to separate from him and the rest of the pack over these past two seasons is historical in my eyes. And just being able to work with him every single day, very grateful for his presence. Obviously, to have him as a teammate, making incredible plays throughout the year and everything, but his leadership and his presence in the locker room, in our wide receiver room, is huge. And he definitely makes, he's definitely a huge part of the reason why we have success here. So for him to achieve that accomplishment, I know it was huge for him. He first came in here and he was looking at Jordy the same way I'm looking at him, in a sense. So, I mean, that's obviously down the road for me, for those type of things. But, he's a person I'm chasing every single day. I'm watching him off the line, watching him individual. No matter what the drills are, I'm trying to take as much as I can from him to be able to be half as good as him. Because if I'm half as good as him, I know I'll still be in this league for a very long time.